All right, y'all. Welcome back to 10,000 Contacts. I got a special guest with me here today, the lovely Stacey. She's in the building.
Hey, y'all.
She's here to drop some game on y'all about building the brand. She's a brand ambassador,
content creator,
model,
business consultant, whatever you need, basically.
and you got your degree as well.
Yes.
We want to salute that.
Yeah, we do. I always tend to forget that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do have my master's. I got my master's in public administration with a concentration in government management. I also
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, it's been a while since I said it. Hold on, let me say it right. But I also got my bachelor's in criminal justice and a minor in paralegal, and then I also have my associates at KCK. You know, don't ever knock no community colleges. Okay,
Facts.
Don't let nobody ever tell you or say anything, judge you about community college, because that community college at KCK led me to be able to get a full ride scholarship to get my master's with a stipend.
What?
So I got paid to go to get my master's.
Say that one more time. You got paid to go get your master's.
Yeah, so there are programs that a lot of people like us don't know about because, we're a lot of times first generation students. We just don't have the resources.
For sure.
And we just be figuring stuff out. Like fast food, we know everybody done got stressed out for fast food.
Yeah.
But basically, there are programs that will pay you if you are a minority to pursue higher education. So what it is they will give you a stipend, which is kind of like an allowance that allows you to be able to use that money for rent. It could be for food. It could be for a car, for whatever you need to be a good student. So I'm like, it is very competitive. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's definitely a blessing. And what's funny is, I was devastated because when I went to go get my bachelor's, I applied for a scholarship like that. I did not get it. Right. And I was hurt. Like, I was like, oh my God, my life is over. How am I going to pay for school? Yeah. Like, stressing. I was sick, literally sick. And like, I went to church that weekend. I remember my pastor saying that, sometimes God says no, but it's not a permanent no. It's just a no for right now.
Exactly.
So he was like, sometimes that opportunity might have got shut for me so I could get a full ride to my master's. Because that scholarship was only to pay for tuition. So I still would have had to been paying for books and everything else. Yeah. So,
traveling.
Look, okay, gas. And my school was downtown. Parking. Yeah. That's just a whole nother thing that just was like a nightmare. Yeah. It was like $65 to park downtown in Chicago.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
you went to school in Chicago as well.
Yeah, I went to Roosevelt University. Shout out to my alma mater.
Okay.
But yeah.
You from Kansas City though, correct? Born and raised.
I was born in Chicago.
Okay, you was born in Chicago. Okay.
And then grew up in Kansas City.
So,
but I claim KC through and through. Like,
KC raised you.
Yes, KC definitely made me, raised me, and I love my city. Like, that's why I really love that you're doing, 1,000 contacts, because
10,000.
10,000. Oops, sorry. Edit.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
But okay, I love that you're doing 10,000 contacts because it's really bringing people together. And as a content creator, that's what I do. Like, I I go to castings, I go to different, just like events,
you
networking.
Stay busy. That's how we met. Was your best friend, one of your best friends, shooting a video. So
and that's and it's crazy because Kansas City is so small. It's like really this big, literally. But we all love each other.
And we got mutual friends as well.
Oh yeah. And it's crazy because I had been up here. Yeah. That was the first time I came up here. Was with Joshua, with Motherlicious. Shout out to Motherlicious. That's my right hand.
She dope. We gotta get back in the lab. You already know she gonna be on here too. So.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna be here for her sake because I gotta get all her BTS. That's my girl.
Bet. So you represent her as well. Just off the flip, that's your girl.
Yeah.
I always see you promoting her, and that's dope.
Yeah. So
we need that as artists. My fault. We need that as artists, like a good friend that just. Now, no matter what, they gonna share your post, repost it, no questions, boom. Like it's so much. Like I know she love you for that type of stuff.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because that's just who I am as a person. Like if you're from my city, I want to see you win. Like I don't feel like look when you go to the grocery store, it's all these people selling the same product, and ain't none of them biting on each other's toes. Ain't nobody stepping or hating or bringing animosity or anything like that. So it's like I want to bring that into the industry that I am with content creating and with networking. Because at the end of the day, we're competing against large nationwide franchises, people who done been rich rich, born rich, gonna die rich, and in the afterlife probably still gonna be rich. Okay,
already got money, trust fund, babies.
Literally, like, and that's who we're up against. So it's like, instead of us trying to compete with each other, we need to come together so that as a collective we can compete with these nationwide big companies. Because don't get me wrong, like, as a content creator, I love working with Kiss New York Pro. I love working with the nationwide companies. Sure. But at the same time, like, I prefer working with small businesses because they're the ones who need the promo. They're the ones who need the exposure. They don't have a marketing team.
We spend the most money. It's proven that we spend the most money back in the world. Like, whatever money that we make as small business owners, we spend it in the community. We spending it locally. So we fuel the economy, literally.
Yeah, and where we spend our money matters, especially as a small business, or if you're an entrepreneur, or whatever the case it may be that you have going on. At the end of the day, you want to, when you go to support a business, it's an experience. And a lot of times when we go to support these big luxury designers, we get treated unfairly, or we get mistreated or judged by our appearance because we're trying to fit into a room that wasn't meant for us. Versus me shopping at, like, the Blueprint KC, for example. I love them. But when I go there, Ashley's there. She helps me right away. She greets me at the door like, hey, Stacey, how's going on? How's life? And if I tell her, like, hey, I'm shopping for this look, like, she literally helps me put things together. And that's something that you wouldn't get if you go to Fashion Nova. Like, they're not going to know my name. Or if you go to, like, any other store like Macy's, they're not going to know your name when you walk in there. And it's not necessarily to be like, oh, it makes me feel important. It just makes me feel like where I spend my money matters, because I don't have to shop at these small places. You know what I'm saying? For real. I choose to do it because at the end of the day, I believe in the brand, I believe in the vision, and I believe in the person. And
supporting. Like, overall supporting,
Yeah, and I think that's, like, I think a lot of times for me, I do that genuinely. Like, so if I see a business that I don't have no interactions with on Instagram, if you from my city, baby, I'm reposting you. Like, I don't be caring. I will flood. I will spam comments. Love. Like, but that's just genuinely who I am. So I think sometimes it comes off as, like, me wanting to just constantly be in the spotlight, because that's not me either. Like, I don't like always being in the spotlight. I be like being low key. Like, that's really me.
So how do you manage that? That's a good topic right there. You are a content creator, a brand ambassador. How do you balance? Because social anxiety is real. We all got it.
Yes.
Even doing podcasts, everything like that. How do you balance and overcome that?
I would say that sometimes it does get to me. Like, I'm going to be a real person. I tell people that all the time. Like, when people book me, they book me because I'm always me. Like, when you met me at the video shoot, I was the same person when we hosted the stripper-thon. Like, I was the same person now. So, I think that a lot of times, like, I always just try to remain true to who I am. And I think about, like, what resets me. And, like, I'm not going to lie to you. My friends are, like, my like, they ground me, literally. Because, like, when I don't want to talk to nobody, because I constantly have to do that some days, I can go around them and we just be in the room. We don't say not a word to each other. And I just be happy just being in the room with my friend, because I know that they support me. If I want to talk, I can talk, but I'm not obligated to talk. Like, I would say with being a content creator, another thing that I've been having trouble with is, like, balancing when I'm making content and when I'm off the clock. Yeah. Because it's like, so say you go to a nice restaurant. You want to go and promote the business, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they're not paying me for promo. So, like, now I'm getting to a point where I can't just give out free promo now, because I got, businesses that want to pay me and stuff too for promo. So it's not fair to the businesses and companies that I work with that they pay me for promo, and then I'm just giving it away X, Y, and Z over here.
Yeah. So. Yeah, no, you touched a lot right there. I'm gonna chop that up. Boom. That's so important that you have that. I'm gonna circle back, that group of friends. I feel like a lot of people, they need to build that nest, because we get into being creators. We get into a real niche background where we just kind of want to isolate ourselves. But really being outside is fundamental to everything we do, including me. Like, I'll be counting myself like, man, I've been in the studio for 14 days straight.
Yeah.
Sometimes longer than that, no lie. Like,
I was going to say, I probably believe longer than that. Like, you come here almost every day? Like,
faithfully. So, literally. Like, but being outside getting new customers, letting people see you, especially here, it's important. Going to the events, I'm going to an event tomorrow. Like, you gotta publicly be seen as well. Like, Instagram and Facebook and all that only does so much. When people really meet you in person, then they get to see who you are and, you know, feel your energy and boom, like, all right, we can do business, man. You really cool, you know? And then you said something else, like, you want to, like, you be out sometimes and you're trying to capture stuff, but you also want to enjoy the moments too. Like, you find yourself, I know I find myself behind that camera lens and it just doesn't feel right all the time, you know? It's a hard balance. I don't even promote too much. Like, I'm building myself back up to do that. Yeah. But I be a ghost a lot of times just because it be so much going on. Yeah. And I like living real life. Like, you know, being an artist, I gotta be in the moment for sure. Yeah. But it's so hard to navigate through that. Like, when you should post, and we overthink it sometimes. So
yeah, I would say, like, you know, to touch base on, like, finding that balance it took me I've been like, so it's funny because I you know, I got degrees and all that.
For sure.
I would have never left that to go do this full time. That would have never been like, I'm gonna hang my degree up and go do this, because I really worked hard for that. So I ended up getting fired from my job, which they're not even worth mentioning. Basically, they wanted me to speak Spanish for free, and I'm not doing that. Nah. Especially if my coworker, we got the same title, and you speak in English, and you're not getting over on me, baby. I'm sorry. Like, so, you know, I got fired for that, and I'm not mad about it. But at the end of the day, I know I did the right thing. I took a stand because, you know, that's just who I am. I've always been a vocal person, and, you know, that led me to pursue this full time, and that's been where, like, basically from February to, I would probably say, June is finally when I found a balance. Like, when I go places, sometimes I literally will leave my phone in the car, or I'll leave it in my purse and I won't pull it out. Like, if I'm out with my friends and I know we here for a good time, then that's what it is. Now, it's different if that business or somebody reaches out to me and they're like, hey, we would like you to come and make content for me. Then it's X, Y, and Z. Then I'm on that. You know what I'm saying? But
so, discipline.
Yeah.
Would you say that? Like, having that discipline, like, moments, you know, all right, I'm not on that. I'm chilling with my friends, chilling with my family. Yeah. The important stuff. You know when to put your phone away. And it took you 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Okay, that's a good time.
I didn't even have business hours. Like, people was calling me all times, hours.
Oh, I know about that.
And then traveling. Like, it was just crazy. But to touch base on that, like, basically, when it comes to having that discipline, I have, like, my friends, I got the same friends, Mike, Tay, Joshua. I'm like my god sister. I literally have been friends with them since probably like middle school. I kid you not. Like, and it's not that I don't meet nice, new, genuine people, because I do. There's a lot of people that support me than people I've known my whole life.
They say that they will too.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's kind of they helped me find that discipline. Like, once I decided, like, because I used to always tell them, like, you know, y'all, I don't want to make content right now. I'm tired. And then people will see me out at a restaurant and they'll be like, oh, you're Stacey. Could you make a reel for us? And I mean, wanting to be the supportive person I am, I'm always want to say yes. But, like, I'm not on the clock right now. So, like, now I've learned that it's okay for me to politely decline stuff. And not necessarily say, no, I never want to work with you. But just like, hey, you know, I'm just not working right now. But if you want to talk, we can schedule a meeting. So, it's just like, now my friends have also been holding me more accountable, too. Like, when we go out, like, for their birthdays or anything, they be like, put your phone up. Like, you're not doing that. You're not doing that.
They on it for you. That's good.
So, they help me even when I get lost, because, you know, like you said, you be in the studio all the time. You know how many times we be on our phones all day? All the time. How many times do you check Instagram?
Way too much.
Literally more than you should.
Way too much.
We be checking social media apps more than we check, like, anything else. So for me, it's hard, like, because sometimes I'll be on Instagram just scrolling, and then boom, somebody want to book me. So I'm just like, damn, but I'm not working right now, but I'm not going to wait. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of still like, I feel like it's a never ending battle for real whenever you're an entrepreneur, to find the balance. Because, like, sometimes you can have it and other times it's just non-existent.
Gotta find that motivation and inspiration again.
Yeah.
So I want to circle back. You said that you grew up, or you were born in Chicago. How long were you out in Chicago?
So it's funny because Chicago, I always considered Chicago my second home, just because my grandma and a lot of my family lives there. Yeah, and they still live there. They lived there my whole life.
What part of Chicago?
South Side.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
61st,
I've been through there.
Western. You know.
I've been through there. Like it was like probably 2015. I know things changed since then.
Yeah. I'm like, well, right now Chicago getting gentrified.
For sure, you can see it everywhere.
I know. I seen
it when I was there. Matter of fact.
Yeah.
There was definitely tearing down the hood.
You know they doing it now in Northeast.
Sure.
I'm like, who y'all think gonna buy these houses? And y'all got crackheads in the neighborhood. Like what?
Everywhere.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing too. Like I don't even think we talked about it. Like I'm an activist too. Like I be protesting. I be on the bald head mayor's butt. Like I be trolling him. Like he got me blocked. He had literally has me blocked because I started a movement that was like I wanted him to get out of office. Like I don't like people who claim they representative and speak for the people, and then when it comes to follow through, you know where to be found. Like you know, it's been too many situations where our mayor just been having like a hands off approach. Like he's like, oh, I don't have nothing to do with this, and in reality, you do because you be the one in the circle. Like and it be my thing is like with me being an activist, I speak out when people do something wrong against other people, even if it don't got nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
Mama would be so mad. She'd be like, Stacey, that don't have nothing to do with you. Why are you going out there? Yeah. And I just be like, listen, Mom, we've been in a position because I come from a family of immigrants. So like for a long time, I used to be in fear that my family was gonna get deported. You know what I'm saying? So that's a fear that I grew up with my whole life. Trauma. Yeah. So like whenever I see somebody that's in need or somebody that needs somebody for them to advocate, I'll be the first one because I'm like, listen, it was people who advocated for me when me and my family, you know, when we were going through our situations, and now I feel like it's only right for me to advocate for others that need help in whatever capacity that may be.
That's amazing. Yeah, I got on old boy too. We ain't gonna mention his name.
Right.
But I had a good idea for potholes, to fix the potholes in the city.
Oh, yeah.
And he actually responded to my message in my inbox. But he was just like, I told him, I was like, I really don't even want to discuss my idea with you.
Right.
You know, I want to come and sit down with you. He was like, oh, just kind of fill me in and we'll see what's up. So I gave him a little peek of what my idea and concept was to fix the potholes in the city. And he didn't say nothing. Like, he said, okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm like, and see,
dude,
like,
God, this is serious.
Yeah, and we have a lot of them. Like, how are you gonna charge $2,300 for rent? And I feel like
everywhere.
a bumper car like, you know, I'm on the roller coaster. Yeah, like.
And I travel a lot. I go to other states, cities. I don't see no potholes on the highway.
Now Chicago, I'm gonna say Chicago a little bit more up there than KC, but at the end of the day,
they got potholes like that.
Yeah, no, they got craters. Like, them big cones in them. Like,
I didn't drive to Chicago. My homeboy drove, but we was exploring. We was on the subway.
Yeah. I'm like, I love Chicago. Summertime Chicago is a whole vibe.
So you didn't tell me, how long were you in Chicago? Were you was born there till what, 4 or 5? Or
so I was born there. For the first part of my life, I lived in Mexico actually.
Okay.
So then when I moved, when my parents came back from Mexico, they were in Chicago for a few years. Then we moved to Missouri. So I really started like school in Missouri. Okay. So, but before that, I was in Mexico and in Chicago.
Okay.
But like, I'm not gonna lie, one time I got kicked out of school and I got in trouble, so I got like shipped away to Chicago. So that it's kind of just always been like a second home to me. Like every summer, every winter break, every spring break, like my little mini assistant then been over to my grandma's house. Like it's just, you know, it's kind of like, and my grandma, she can cook her ass off. So it's just like she got that old school mentality. She's strict, you know what I'm saying? But she gonna feed you and she gonna love you and she gonna pray for you. So you know, it's like Chicago is literally, I think I've been there, I want to say like my whole life I've been back and forth. Like, but recently I was in college. I went to college there for 3 years.
So it kind of reversed. You was out there and then coming back, sneaking back to KC.
Yeah.
Not sneaking back, but you know, like spending your time back here in the city.
And it's crazy because, so the reason why I came back is I'm big on family.
For sure.
You know, and moving away, that kind of like,
it's tough.
It makes you homesick. Like, I don't know, once you move away from your hometown in another state, you consider something called a transplant. Because you're not necessarily from that area. So they call you a transplant.
For real. I never heard that.
That was always weird to me because like, and it ended up making sense to me because I'm like, why we gotta be a label? Like, you know, why y'all singling us out? But what I found out is, like, for Thanksgiving, they'll have events for transplants. Like, so even if you don't have your family. You can meet up with people so you have, like, your community. So I was like, okay, that's really nice. Like, because I was homesick. That's really why I moved back. My little sister had a baby. She was having cravings. I'm on the phone like, I wish I could go get it for you. Like, I'm not there. So I was like, you know what? I got to come home. My sister needs me. And I ended up taking a huge, I think I lost like 30,000 just taking the job that I was at in Chicago and moving to Kansas City.
Damn.
But it wasn't about the money for me. It was about my family, and I needed that. Like, I needed them to help me. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, without them, I don't think I would have been able to even think that this was a career. Cause, like, how many times have you met a content creator that's like a full-time creator and that's what they do and that's the only thing they do? Like,
I see you all the time, different brands, doing your thing, modeling different events. So
I be trying to do what I can just here and there. Like, I always, a lot of, like, I don't try to, like, toot my own horn because, like, I feel like, you know, once you start doing that, God, you know, he'll humble you. Sure, so I just, like,
but talk your shit at the same time, though. Nah, that's real. I'm the same way. I'm super humble, and I'm more reserved because I'm a learner. I'm always learning. I'm always trying to, you know, see the room, and it takes me a while. But that's super important. You know, family, having that structure, and I see why you moved back. You know. But what would you say would be, I know we still in the Midwest, the big difference that you see from Kansas City, Chicago?
I would say
Chicago got that appearance.
You know
what
I'm saying?
No, I'm not. No, I love it. I love the town.
KC versus Chicago thing. Okay, so basically, Chicago skyline definitely has us beat.
Hey,
that's
real.
There's no questions asked. But
does.
Baby, when it comes to our barbecue,
food,
we untouchable. Like soul food, I feel like our soul food is way better than Chicago soul food. Like, I feel like it don't be as seasoned. Like, in Chicago, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of diets. You know what I'm saying? So it's vegetarian, pescatarian, vegan, gluten. Like, so a lot of the restaurants don't try to season their food as much, you know, because they want it to be made for everybody. So, like, it just seemed like the food just was never, like, seasoned how it's supposed to be. But don't get me wrong, I love Harold's. Like,
I've been there before.
I got my staples in Chicago, too, that I'm always love, like jerk billet. Like, it's certain things. But I will say one thing that Chicago has that we don't have is they have way more inclusive, like, neighborhoods.
Yes.
So, like, you know how we got Northeast, that's like, you know, where all the Mexicans, Arabs be.
Their shit
like,
is, they got Chinatown, they got the South Side.
Little Ukrainian village, like, little village. They have, like, everybody has their own. And it's known, too. Yeah.
It's known. Like, you know when you over there.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, like, I remember when I first got to Chicago, I wanted to rent in Chinatown. They was like, girl, they is not renting to you. I'm like, wow, I got the money, I got the credit, I got everything. They was like, yeah, you missing the first one. You gotta be Asian. I said, oh, okay. And I'm not gonna lie, I applied in Little Village. I got my apartment. That's where all the Mexicans was. I'm like, okay, well, this is where it's supposed to be. Like, but I will say that that's something that I like. I like that Chicago is more welcoming to different communities and more diverse.
All cultures.
Literally, all cultures. Like, it's not something that is a facade. When you go there, you see, like, throughout the city, you'll see every country represented. Like, you'll see flags, restaurants, stores. Like, it's just, and I wish we could have that here in Kansas City, because a lot of people don't realize that we are getting more and more diverse.
Way more.
And it's just going to continue to happen. Like, we not going backwards no more. We pushing forward. So it's just like, eventually we gonna get to a point where we can start doing that. Like, right now, they done already started doing that. And KCK community, like, you know, downtown KCK. I'm like, they already started doing it. They got Little Village. I'm like, and you see, like, right now, I don't know if you know, but they've been gentrifying the hood, like, the 30s through the 50s.
All of it.
Regardless of where you from, I know you didn't see them knock down a crack house.
Knocking down buildings, nice stores that used to be my favorite stores. Like, my childhood is gone.
I can't believe they done got rid of all them stores that used to be on Truth. Like, that's like historic. Like, you know, especially when you grow up and you see things changing. Like, it's not necessarily like, it hurts you. Like, it hurts your heart because it's like, dang, I got to experience this and now nobody else
Some people will never know though either. Like, the younger kids, the younger generation, that's all they know is what they see. Yeah. So it's kind of that kind of effect too. Definitely gentrification, but some of it is in a good sense. Like they are trying to do some good, but it just hurts seeing some of the stuff go, and we'll see. We got to see. You know, we won't know until we see it develop. But I feel you on that because I drive through like where I grew up at, and half is gone for real.
Yeah, like one of my childhood homes was knocked down, and that broke my heart. Like, because I didn't even know. So I came back from college. I wanted to take pictures in front of all the places I grew up in. Like, so my graduation pictures was to like pay tribute to the places that made you. You know, like, so I ended up doing it at like a Mexican ice cream shop because whenever I wanted to study, that's where I would be. Okay. And sometimes I didn't have no money, and she was like, "Baby, you still want your horchata?" I'm like, "Yes, please." Like, so it's just like, you know, sometimes it's like I don't like to say, like, I don't know what it is about me. Like, I'm such a caring and giving person that like. Sometimes when I be down and out, I get blessed, like, out of nowhere. Sure. Like, and it's randomly, like, I'll say one time I was in college in Chicago, and it's downtown, so everything is expensive. You can't find no $5 meal downtown. Yeah. So, like, say you on a budget, you know what I'm saying? Like,
in college, too.
Anything, in like, one meal, $25. Like, and that's just, and it might not even be good because all the food downtown is overpriced because of the location. So, you know, it was hard. Like, I went to McDonald's one day. I realized that somebody got me for my wallet. I'm just like, damn, I'm hungry. It's midterms. I live an hour away.
You
like,
all kind of frustrated.
I was just sitting there crying. Like, I just cried. I couldn't even, I didn't know what else to do because I was just like, bro, I can't call my mama. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
not
you
in college.
Know, yeah, you got to figure it out on your own.
She's like, I helped you out.
Yeah.
Such and such a day. And that's all I had.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. I also went to college at an older age. Like, I wasn't fresh out of high school when I went to college. And I'm not going to lie, I feel like that was the best decision for me because when I went back to school as an adult, I was focused. I was ambitious. I was eager to learn. I'm talking about I was in tutoring. Like, I would get out of school probably at like 2. I would be in tutoring until they closed at 7. Like, I was dedicated because I felt like my schooling for me, once I graduated high school, I started working right away. I was like, I got to get this money. You know what I'm saying? I got all these different jobs, and then I got fired from them jobs too. So then I was like, you know, I need something. I need a career. I need something that I can, you know, fall back on. And that's what I looked at school. School was like my way out. It was for me to be able to get from where I was living to better my life and my family life. Because, you know, it's not, I'm not going to lie. I went to East High School. I went to Lee Summit High School. I went to like Summit Ridge. I went to alternative school. Mm-hmm. And nobody ever talked to me about college because my behavior was so fucked up back then. Like, nobody ever mentioned college to me. Nobody was like, are you going? Like, nobody even asked. Right. Like, it was just like, oh, she graduated. We done. We cool. Like, damn. So whenever I decided to actually go back to school, I was met with a lot of, like, you know, people who had, I would say naysayers. Like, people who just didn't believe. They like, yo, badass going to school. After you got put out of all these school districts, you going to school? Like, what? And so, to me, I feel like that kind of, I use that as like motivation to keep me going. Because I'm like, you think I can't do this, but I know I can. So I'm going to show you that I can do it. So, like,
that'd be the calling right there. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
And, you know, for me, I was very humbled to know that, like, my experience can also help other students. Because, like, I never knew that, like, me going to school would help. Like, now my little sister just went to Rockhurst on a full ride scholarship. My little cousin, he's about to be a psychologist. Yeah. Like, my little sister, like, it's going back to school to be a business manager. Like, it's just Joshua, she's going back to school right now to get her entrepreneurship. Like, that's so dope. It's just like when you're the first one, and like, people knew how bad I was as a kid. So it's like, damn, if Stacey can do it, I can do it. So even though it was like I would say I was a bad example growing up because I made a lot of wrong decisions, I didn't let those decisions stop me from bettering myself.
And dictate your future, for sure.
And, you know, a lot of times people would say, like, your mistakes don't define you. But I really took that to heart. Like, because I ain't gonna lie, when I graduated, some people were still bringing up the stuff that I did when I was a kid. And I still got to explain that. Like, that's one of the reasons why I'm not working in my career field. Because I have to So I got my records. You know, I don't have no criminal record,
Right.
but you still got arrest. Your arrest record is separate from your conviction record.
I didn't even know that.
So if you get your case dismissed or
Yeah.
whatever happens, probation,
You
your
taught me
arrest
something.
record is still on file.
Oh wow.
So whenever I start applying to these government jobs,
Yeah,
they can hit me a
they can
list,
see
and
in
I'm
that.
like, excuse
Yeah.
me, who did this? Not
Right.
me. But then I start looking at the dates. I'm like, oh shit, this was
This
from when I was a
was me.
teenager.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't even remember who these names is. Like, so it's crazy to me that I had to go through that. But I feel like I had to go through it to be able to share my story and to tell other people, like,
That's
you
inspiration.
know, you can change your circumstance. Like, you don't have to be the bad person that people always want you to be. You can be the person. Only you can define who you are. Like, literally,
That's real.
like,
That's real.
you can't. I'm like, and one thing my grandpa told me, he was like, because I ain't gonna lie, there's been times where I wanted to cry, like,
sure.
just give up. I'm like, man, this is not for me. And you gotta think, I went to a private school, a PWI. I'm talking about, I was in class with a girl who mama bought a house, 2 houses, not 1 house, but 2 houses. She bought a house in the suburbs and a house in the city in Chicago so she could be close to her daughter. So it's just like seeing stuff like that, and then knowing where I come from, like, damn, I can't even send me $5 right now. Like, you know, so it's just like a very humbling experience to know, like, it's, you know, I went through all of that for a reason, to help the next person out. And I give free college advice. I write letters of recommendation.
Y'all hear that?
Baby,
What?
if you need it, come
What?
talk to me. Like, if you need help with FAFSA, like, I don't care who you are. If you trying to go to school and you really putting forth the effort, I will help you.
That's
like,
amazing.
Because I feel
blessing
like
people for real.
Yeah, like, and it's crazy because I just started writing letters of recommendation because someone asked me to, who was in, they're getting ready to go to law school, and it's somebody I grew up with. So it's just like, oh my God, like, you know, to even be considered,
For
like,
sure.
it's flattering because it's like, damn, y'all wouldn't even call Stacey unless I was getting in trouble. So it's good to know, like, that I'm making a better impact. I'm making a positive impact in my community now that I'm older than when I did. Because I ain't gonna lie, like, for a second, like, I was like, school is impossible. Like, I'm never gonna get, like, I felt like I would never overcome the reputation that I had back when I was a kid and then a teenager. And then, like, what I was gonna say was my grandpa, he dropped the gem on me. He basically told me that whenever you are doing good, the only thing that people can bring up is your past. So that
grandpa hit that way out the park right there.
So,
OG.
Literally, I'm like, so once I got that in my mindset, I'm like, period. I ain't gonna give y'all nothing bad to say, because the only thing I have is positive. Like, you know, only things I'm doing are positive. I don't get involved with the same people I used to. Like, don't get me wrong, I might get a little lit, start crip dancing. You know, you never know. Like, just have us a good time. But at the end of the day, I still have a lot that I live for, and that a lot that I still need to do. Like, not just for myself, but for my community. It's so many dope businesses in Kansas City that just don't get the recognition. Like, and it's sad because, like, they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? And if they had the power of a McDonald's or a Macy's behind them, then, you know, they would be nationwide. Like, so.
Yeah, we got some gems here in the town, and that's what I'm trying to do is let everybody share their story. And even so far, I didn't know all this about you. And that's amazing. It's inspiring, and it's good to hear that you really out here helping people for real that need help, that need guidance. Because sometimes you never know. It could be 1 or 2 things and just touch somebody, change their whole life. So that's what we inspired to do, and I feel like that's what led me to this. Is like, I know so many people, and if I can just be a positive role model to the next person, like, man, you ain't got to do this. You know, there's other ways to do it. Especially, you know, where we come from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's so many other ways to do the right thing. It's easy. I always tell these cats this. It's so easy to do wrong. We can tear this wall off right here.
Split second.
But try to build this mug back up.
Right. It's going to take you a lot longer. And that's a good metaphor because, like,
For
look
sure.
at me even now, 15, 20 years later. Like, when I go to a job interview, I still got to explain why I wanted to fight old girl when I was 15, 16 years old. Like, and that's embarrassing.
For
like,
sure.
because mind you, this is situations I don't even remember. So it's just like, Like, I can't be mad at nobody but myself, you know, and deal with the consequences. But, like, I am trying to go through the process of, like, doing my own expungement. So I'm gonna drop some reels about that.
I'm going to hire you for that.
I'm going to do some reels to tell people, like, because like you said, you didn't know that your arrest record and your conviction record is two different things.
That's
like, crazy. And it is crazy because a lot of people don't know until you get into a situation where they're like, oh, but what about this? And what about this? And then you're like, actually. And I ain't gonna lie, like, so I got 13 total.
I'm up there.
And they said
I know for sure.
About 1,000. It's like 1,000 to get each one of them gone.
Woo!
So 13,000, like, it's costly when you don't think because you young and you don't gotta go to jail that it's not no problems and it's not no consequences that come with it. You might not feel like you're gonna get in trouble now, but it's gonna punish you or hinder you in the future. For sure. And like I ain't gonna lie, I had a job offer for like $200,000 when I first got out of school. Man. And then they seen my record and they was like, we're gonna have to take that back. And I couldn't even be mad. Like I cried about it, but then at that time I was like, you know what? I can't be mad about it. I did it. I'm gonna have to accept it for what it was, and I'm just gonna have to use this as like a learning lesson to help other people not make these same mistakes. Cause I ain't gonna lie, when I was younger, they like, oh, it's a kid, you a kid. It's not gonna go on your record.
That's
it's
all
not
we
gonna
heard.
go on your record.
That's all
you got it, you good. And that's not true.
That's not true.
Like
even school stuff, right? Yeah. Like stuff that happens in school, they follow all of that.
Listen, I was filling out my scholarship paperwork and I had to explain why I got kicked out of all them schools. Yeah. And that's embarrassing alone because like when you competing in an environment that's not meant for you, cause mind you, like when I was in school, I was probably one of the only colored, like, Hispanic Latinas in my program. Mm-hmm. Like, there was maybe 3 or 4 African-American students, and the rest of them were white. Sure. Like, you know, that was just the majority. So, it's just like when you in an environment that's not meant for you, and then you feel like you got this dark past, you know, that's like, it makes you feel like you are beneath them, you know, in a way. Like, it makes you feel like, damn, if I did all of this shit, why am I even in the same room as you? You know, like, it has me second guessing myself plenty of times. Like, and then with being at a private school and seeing how rich mamas and daddies buying Lambos and all this, I'm just like, damn, like, what? Right, yeah. I'm like, my mama can't even come up here for family day. Like, so, you know, it was just a different dynamic. But I feel like it really helped me become who I am because I know how to navigate. I know how to be in a room full of rich white people, investors. I also know how to be in a room full of entrepreneurs. I know how to be in a room with people from the hood. I can help them understand politics. Like, so, you know, everything that happened to me, I felt like it's for a reason. And basically, like, I have so much knowledge that I've gathered from my own personal experience. And one thing, like, about me is I'm not afraid to tell nobody nothing. Like, if I did it, I'm going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's good, bad, ugly. Like, that's who I am. That's just who I am. And so, it's like, even though I am ashamed, don't get me wrong, I don't promote nobody getting arrested or none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like...
It doesn't have to be, you know.
A rite of passage. No.
For sure. I mean, if you think about it, though, our environment is... Man, I'll just say this. A lot of the kids that I went to school with, elementary school, middle school, before graduation, they either been arrested or had a kid.
Yeah.
All the dudes that I went to school with. I mean, all of them. I went back and thought about it. I thought about it then when I was 18. I'm like, damn, my little core group of homies that I used to hang around either got arrested or was having kids, or sometimes both.
Yeah.
Under 18. The day I graduated, my friend across the street was murdered.
I'm like, see, and you know what's crazy? Like, I was a troubled kid, and I got kicked out of school and everything since alternative school. You know, eventually it got to a point where I was on my own, and one of my brother's teachers actually, like, offered me a house to stay. Mm-hmm. And this lady is the reason why I even went to college. She was the first person that helped me fill out my FAFSA. She was the one who helped me go apply to colleges. She was literally driving me from Lee Summit to KCK to UMKC, like to all of the different colleges. Too. Literally, like she was like, somebody's gonna give you a chance, and KCK gave me the opportunity. So like, it's like her, and it's crazy because I would have never met that lady if it wasn't for one of my good friends who passed away. His name was Snoop. He was the girlfriend to her daughter. Oh wow! So it's like, if I wouldn't have been in the streets, I would have never met him, and I would have never had that outlet to get out the streets. Like,
shout out to her.
Okay, she's a lifesaver. I'm like, if she ever see this, I hope she knows that she changed my life, and I ain't never going back to the streets. Okay, only for fun. None of that other crazy stuff. But
yeah, that's a blessing. So I want to talk about, what you do as well, and I want to give the people a breakdown because it's a difference. Let them know what actually is a brand ambassador and the brands that you
that I work with. Okay,
yeah, for sure. So, shout them out.
Okay, no, it's a lot. No, I'm just kidding. So I will go ahead and shout them out. Shout out to Kiss New York Pro. Shout out to Sugar Baby Boutique. Shout out to the Blueprint KC. Yeah. Who else do I work with? So Extra Lashes. They slay my lashes right now. Shout out to Industry Sounds. For the invite on a podcast and for period. Like you really do be bringing artists together. You be bringing a space to keep people out of the streets and express it in a different way, and I love that.
Saved my life, like for real.
And you out here saving lives every day.
Know. It's a safe space. We ain't never had nothing crazy happen here.
Yeah.
Been open 11 years, and our people.
Yeah. And you look rowdy.
We record a lot of Hispanic people as well too.
Yeah, I seen that you guys were recording the other artists. I actually follow him. I'm like, oh, he got a view.
We got a lot of vibe. Just different. I mean, and being out here in Blue Springs, outside a little bit outside the city limits, but everybody come through here. Everybody has came through here, so it's been a blessing. And even at our events that are outside the studio, we've never had any fights, trouble, or anything like that.
And so I
it's above us,
Yeah. So back to the question. Sorry,
yeah,
I got ADD
it's
or
all
ADHD.
Good. We talking, we chilling.
I got the letters, okay, and I'm dyslexic, all of it. I can't sit still. I be having problems.
We creators. That's why.
And so I would say the biggest difference between so being a brand ambassador is basically you're getting paid directly by that business to promote that company. That's what that is. Being a content creator, that's just kind of like a universal way, because that could mean brand ambassador, it could mean different things. For example, like it could mean going to pop-ups and wearing the clothes. It could mean going to the fashion shows and representing the company. It could mean networking in an event that the company was promoted to be at and the owner can't make it. So they want their brand ambassadors to go and represent them. So it's just like
crazy. I need one.
Yeah, look, tag in. So and it's crazy because, like, I really started this out of nowhere. Shout out to Too Obsessed and Yaslin Ali, because that was she was the first girl that ever gave me my brand ambassador opportunity. Like,
she raps.
Yeah, she raps. And dope. She also started Too Obsessed, which was like a pajama line. So that was like my first opportunity. Dope. And I remember literally us sitting in a group, and I'm like, I don't think I could ever be no content creator. Y'all, like, I was telling them, like, I would love to do it, but I'm scared. I used to be shy. I used to be, like, reserved. I wasn't confident. Like, so, all of those things put together don't make a great content creator. So it's like, over time, I just kept pushing myself, to just keep promoting. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I had people tell me, like, significant others laugh in my face, like, oh, you'll never be nothing. Like, content creator not gonna pay your bills. You're not gonna be shit. Like, like, really down in me. Like, I've had people trolling me too, and I still didn't never let that stop me, because I felt like, I'm going to show you. Just like I showed everybody who didn't believe that I could graduate, I'm going to show you that I'm going to make a way out of this. So it's like I have that mentality that it's like, even if you tell me, if you say no, I'm going to go find somebody who's going to say yes. Like, sure. And that's just the kind of attitude that I have. I've always been like a go-getter. So I feel like that's another thing that helps with being a brand ambassador, because I ain't going to lie, I've gotten a lot of no's. I've been companies that I followed for years that I'm just like, oh, I would love to work with you, and it just don't happen. And
timing.
And not only timing, but also like I feel like it also goes back to maybe it's just not meant to be, and that's okay. Cause like I have companies who've never met me, You know what I'm saying? Willing to work with me. So it's like, it's messed up that you in my own city, I wanted to work with you and you don't see my potential. But like, that's not a you problem and it's not a me problem either. Cause I know what I bring to the table.
Okay.
It's just a we don't mix type of problem.
Okay.
So it's like, I can support you at a distance,
sure.
you know, but now I won't ever repost your shit. Now I'm not gonna comment. Now I'm not sharing your stuff. Like I'm a petty creator. Like I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hey.
If I try to shoot my shot, you say no. Okay, I got something for you. Unfollow. No, I ain't gonna unfollow you. But what I will do is like I just won't be as supportive, you know, and that's just what it is. Cause I feel like if a random person that doesn't know me could, you know, reach out to me and book me, that means I'm doing something right. Sure. Oh, this is a funny story. Yeah. You know how KC's so small, right?
For sure.
So I was buying something on Facebook Marketplace.
All right.
And the man was like, oh, we used to go to East together, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He was a reseller. So I offered to do content promo for him. Oh, dope. And the man gonna tell me that he don't want ghetto content. And I just was like, but you grew up in Kansas City. On East to be exact, by 25th of February.
Ghetto content.
But my thing is like, first of all, I hate when people use the G word. Right. Like, especially when you try to use it as like a dig. Like you're trying to down me. Because mind you, the only thing, the reason, the definition of a ghetto is basically a low income community that's not taken care of.
Tell them.
And what that is any project, public, government, housing, building, apartments, complex, any of that. That's what that is. They called that the ghetto because people don't take the time out to upkeep it. Right. So instead of people actually taking time and investing back into the community, it's easy to just be like, oh, that's the ghetto. We don't want to be there, and just keep pushing it away. But what I tell people, like, I try to educate people about the word and how it could be used negatively against us, because I tell people I come from an urban community, because that's what it is. It's not the ghetto to me. It's my home. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's where I can go get some good food. That's where I know my neighbors at. You know, if somebody's walking around in my neighborhood that I don't know, my crackhead gonna tell me. Like, you know, that's just what it is. Yeah.
All right, so branding.
Okay.
Brand ambassador. What's your favorite collaboration that you've done?
Ooh, ever? Okay. So
you can name a few if you got a few. Yeah.
I would say I'll name a big one and a small one. Okay. So I got the opportunity to be a brand ambassador for Jordan. And really? That was really fun. And it was actually for an event where they invited basketball teams, girl basketball teams from local city colleges, and gave them duffel bags, gave them shoes, gave them clothes, merch, backpacks, like everything you could think of.
Where was this at?
It was in Chicago.
Okay, dope.
And I actually got to meet Jasmine. She probably don't even know who I am or nothing. Like she walked past, she introduced herself. I was just so shocked. Like I don't even think I had a reaction, because I'm like, she really walked up to me. Like out of all of the people who were there working, she acknowledged me. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, like that says something about me versus everybody else that I was working with, because I was working with like 30 or 40 people. That's so for her to take the time out to acknowledge me and tell me like, hey, you're doing a great job. You're amazing. And basically, all in all, they ended up giving us some shoes. They gave us shoes, a whole fit. So that was one of my favorite collabs. Because I got some shoes that I really wanted. I wanted the OG ones that was like blue and black. I wanted them so bad, but they came out when I was broke. And so it was just so happened that was the last shoe that was in my size, and it was the shoe I always wanted. So crazy. I was just like, oh my God.
That don't happen for no reason,
I know.
You know?
I was like, this is crazy. That's why I was like, okay.
That's how you know you're on the right path. That's just your sign of just everything, like, clarity, everything. Like,
that I could just keep going.
Yep.
So that was a really dope experience. And even back then, I wasn't doing it like full time. I was just like only in between college, like in between classes, because that's really how I started being a brand ambassador, was because I was in school. When you're in school, you don't have you can't have a 9 to 5 when you're in school.
Right.
You can,
but it's tough.
It's gonna be stressful. Okay.
That's why I dropped out of college. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I've been working since I was 14, and I was trying to work and go to school, and
it's hard, especially. And I will say that for us, like as people of color who come from low income, impoverished neighborhoods, it's even harder because like we don't have that support system. So it's different versus a person who has mama and dad. You know what I'm saying? They family can help them and support them and pick up the slack. Because the government thinks that that's how our families function. They think they was like, oh, okay, if we give you 5,000, then your family can pick up the other 20,000. And it's like, nah, it's not really like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when it comes to like scholarships and people who are working, like I feel like more scholarships should be given to people who are working, because that will alleviate some of that stress and that desire to feel like you have to work to survive. Because like I'm not listen. So when I was getting my master's, I literally could not work. Like I was so stressed out with school. I remember one time I walked into class and she was like, you got to read 230 pages and you got to have a 12-page essay due to like 3 days later. So I'm floored. I'm like, excuse me? You must think I'm just going to sit at home at this computer and not ever get up. Like, that's the only way that... Life stops. Yeah. And so I ended up like having to tell my job, like, listen, I don't know what I'm about to do, but I can't work because I really need my degree. And I was on a scholarship. So it's like, this job can't even pay the tuition that I'm supposed to pay. So it's like, it wasn't worth it to me, but I was privileged because I had that scholarship. You know what I'm saying? If I wouldn't have had that scholarship, I would have had to drop out. And I feel like the only reason why I even had the scholarship was because I was spending them long hours in tutoring. Like, you know, I was spending, when people was at home going out to party, like I didn't party at all in college. Like all of the fun museums and the picture fun houses, I didn't do none of that. Like
was in the books.
I was in the books at the library at Harold Washington.
That's
like,
what it take.
You know, I was getting on a train. Here's the thing. I was also like, I lived on the south side. So I had to take a bus ride, then a train ride to get to the school, and then do that every day there and back. So it would take me like 2 to 3 hours just to get to and from school. So like I felt like every day on the train, I was in my head like, you got this, you can keep going, like this ain't nothing. When I seen people getting chauffeured, dropped off to the school, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, I can't be mad that my dynamic was different. So I had to learn that, you know, sometimes God put people in positions because that's just how the cards was meant to be dealt. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not no reason to be mad because you lack something. You know what I'm saying? I like to tell people that, like, instead of being mad that we don't have these things, let that be motivation so that you can provide those for your family and for your kids and your community. Because, like, that's really what I want to be. I want to just be a pillar in my community and just somebody who
you already building it.
Look, I'm like,
you
and
building
it's crazy.
It right now.
And even then, I still don't want to say it. I'm like, and even then, I still don't want to say it. But
it's hard to see ourselves doing the things we are doing, but you're doing it. I can see it. Like,
thank you.
You good, yeah.
But like, and still, it's still like, and that's another thing too. I would say that people see me on the internet and they only see one part of what I do. Like, sometimes my political stuff won't ever cross your IG field. Sometimes you won't ever see that, but you'll see my fashion and my vlogging. And then sometimes you won't see me ranting about nothing. Like, it's very, like, as a creator, I'm not just a creator that has, like, one specific type of content that I do. Like, you know, some people have dancing. That's all they do. And see, me, I want mine to be, like, a reflection of my life. So, everything. Yeah, and that's why, like, at first, I used to keep my political stuff separated from my content. But eventually, I got to a point where I'm like, now people think that because I'm doing content, they think I can't be out here and political and, you know, involved and speaking up. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to just start cross promoting because at the end of the day, it's all a part of who I am.
For sure.
It's not just, you can't just date or you can't just get like the political Stacey and think you're going to get the content.
You said it right the first time.
You all of it.
You can't date just one of them.
Yeah, you got to get the whole thing,
yeah,
literally.
Sure.
And I ain't going to lie, that's one thing that's been really hard for me. As a creator, as an entrepreneur.
Talk about it.
It's too much. Like, you know, people be expecting, like, you to call, text. When you're an entrepreneur,
you on the go.
We don't do that. Like, I could see you at home. I'll see you there. Like, there's no need to be good morning, good afternoon. Like, no, I don't have the energy for that. Like, I can't. And a lot of times, I work from my phone. So if somebody call me about work, I'm gone. Like, I forgot all about what you said. Like, just that fast. And it's not necessarily to say, like, you don't want to respond or you don't want to take the time. Because I do. Once I remember, I'm going to take the time to respond. Sure. But it's just like, I ain't always going to remember because it's always something coming up, something new that got to be done. And, you know, I think that sometimes, like, people, I would say guys, get intimidated because they see I got these degrees. They see I'm a content creator. And a lot of people aren't used to dating somebody who has that kind of lifestyle.
Stuff going on.
Yeah, and like I feel like I've had to tell people, like, look, you need to date somebody with a 9-to-5 because you're not used to my lifestyle, and my lifestyle is too much for you, and that's okay.
That's okay.
And I don't feel like it's a dig or nothing, because at the end of the day, it's just like you have a certain thing that you expect. You expect a good morning, good night text every day.
Right. That may not happen.
That's not me. You gonna be holding your breath to the grave. That's just not me. Like, even like my family members know, they'll text me. I might not respond, but if they call me and keep calling me, I'm gonna answer, because then I'm gonna know something's up. So it's just like, it's just hard. Like, it's I haven't had success. Balance. Yeah, I haven't had.
Take your time, you know.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was thinking about starting a dating show. I was like, maybe if I start a dating show with me going on dates, maybe I'll have better luck. Because I'm like, right now, it's not, the contenders is not contending. Like,
oh, that might be fire. I might have to help produce that.
Yeah, you should. I'm like, that would be hella dope. Because I want to make it like a series. Yeah. So I haven't picked what platform I want to do it on, but I want it to be like a series. So I already got like two people that I'm dating that said they would be down to do it, to get content. Player. But it's crazy. It's crazy because like sometimes when people like know that I'm a content creator, sometimes I'll be feeling like they dating me to get clout off me.
Ooh, like that's tricky too.
They be like, oh, that's why tricky. You not reposting this, or why you not commenting on this, or why you ain't make content. And I just be like, because it's crazy. Because every time that I felt like somebody was using me to get like more, they just was overdoing everything. Like, if I would post something, they would constantly repost it and then comment and then tag me in a story and tag themselves. And it's just like, why are you tagging yourself about a post that's about me? Like, that don't have nothing to do with you. So I would say, like, for me, it was hard because, like, at the end of the day, I am a business. I am an entrepreneur. Yeah. I am a content creator. And besides all of that, like, if I am in a relationship with my partner, you know, it's supposed to be teamwork. You know, I want to help you win. For sure. But at the end of the day, like, if we dating, like, no, you gonna have to pay me. Yeah, you gonna have to pay me, like, respectfully. Like, ain't no free promo. Like, I'm sorry, I don't do free promo no more. Them days over with. So
it is what it is then.
I be having to tell them, and I feel like sometimes they get offended by that because they like, oh, we supposed to be together. No. I'm sorry. I'm like, respectfully, it's not you, it's business. Because it's like, listen, if I don't charge you and then the companies I am charging find out, then I'm going to look like I'm not handling my business. So it's like, now I have to take that hard boundary. Yeah, like I got to put my foot down now. And that's hard for me too, because like I be wanting to do promo for so many people.
You care, you know, you got that care factor. Yeah. You care about people, and you know, you want to see, you said it so many times, you want to see people win.
Yeah.
What's your favorite platform? Instagram, or what else do you use?
So I currently use Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And I was streaming on this one app called Big O, but they banned me. I was really getting money on there too. I was so
It's called
sad.
What? I never heard of it.
It's called Big O. So it's like a app. It's kind of like the live app.
Yeah. Okay, I have seen that before.
They can send you like little.
My boy was on there. He's a singer. So he was going live on there, and people was like donating.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
I've seen that. I was really getting money on there. I really like that one because that one.
You do that on TikTok too, right?
Yeah, but see, TikTok, you gotta have 5,000 likes for TikTok
to get to that
to be able to go live. Yeah,
I hate TikTok. I ain't gonna lie.
And I'm not gonna lie.
I got one, but
I have not had a lot of success on TikTok, but at the same time I have. So like, success can be measured in different ways. For sure. Some people think it's all about followers, right? And really, it's not.
Followers don't pay bills.
Exactly, and
I mean, they can,
if you use them right way. Right. But I'm glad that you said that, because there's a lot of misconceptions too when making content that you need a large following. Like, I have 4,000 some followers, 4.1. on Instagram. On Snapchat, I believe I hit 8.6 or 8.7. And TikTok, I probably got like 400 or 500 followers on there. But I got almost 4,000 likes. So TikTok Live gonna be seeing me real soon.
All right, we gonna help promote it up too.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah. So I would say my favorite that I use consistently is I would say I don't really have a favorite, to be honest. Like
you use all of them.
Yeah. So like I use some for different purposes. For sure. Like my Snapchat is more so for my political, my activist stuff, my rants, my day-to-day life. Cause on there, a lot of my followers know that I'm a content creator. They know that I'll be on political stuff. Like they know that I'll do fashion and be at a fashion show today, and then tomorrow I might be at a protest. And they love to see that, you know, because they've been with me for so long.
It's more like personal too.
Yeah, and they like to, you know, be able to follow me throughout the day and see what I'm doing.
It's like day to day.
Yeah, and so like I would say Snapchat has a little bit of my heart more because they're like my followers be ready to ride for me. Like they be ready to do whatever. Up. Yeah,
where
like
you at?
No, so I posted about the story where the guy said he didn't want no ghetto content.
Yeah,
and they was trolling him. Like they was like trying to figure out what reseller it was, what storage unit he was at. Yeah. And I was like, y'all, I'm not even that type of person that would give that much energy to somebody who tried to bring negativity to me. You know, like I
kill him with kindness.
Yeah, like and my thing is like when he said that to me, I laughed. Cause I was like, you gonna need $1 million next time you ever try to book me. Like, and even then the price gonna go up once you get the $1 million. Now it's 2. Like now you can't work with me because I'm at the point where I can pick and choose what I want to do and who I want to work with. So it's like I don't necessarily have to take every job like I used to. You know, like maybe a year or 2 ago when I was in Chicago, I was getting every booking that got handed to me. But now I'll be reading it, I'll be like, nah, I don't want to do that. You can go ahead and get at somebody else. So it's like, you know, with businesses, if I get wrong energy or if I feel like your values as a business owner is not aligned with me and my followers, or like, for example, I had somebody who wanted me to promote something. I forgot what it was. I want to say, damn, why can I remember? I think he wanted me to promote a ebook that was like a health book or something like that, like a weight loss, like one of the like little ebooks or whatever that he wanted me to promote. But I knew that he didn't write it, and I knew that like he was not actually doing the stuff that he said he was doing in the ebook. So I'm just like, I don't want to expose this to my followers because I've always been authentic with my followers. Like that's just something that I pride myself doing, is to always be real and be honest with them. So it's like I'm not just gonna use that and take that money just to show, like, because at the end of the day, it's gonna mess up my reputation and my followers. If I say something stamped, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, we need to go try that. Like they know that it's stamped for real. So it's like I would never want to attach me and my brand to something that I don't fully believe in. So I think that a lot of times, like, so there is some jobs that I will turn down, you know, just because of that. And so, like, for him, when he said the G word, I'm like, I would never want to work with you. Like, I'm like, and you grew up in the same neighborhood. Like, so I was just so shocked. Like, I'm like, I can't believe that people really be like switching up like that, you know? Yeah. But it was like a reminder, because there are people who grew up in the hood that made it out, and now they just feel like they so far removed from their circumstance or that situation that don't have nothing to do with them. But and it's sad though to like see people that are ashamed or, you know, not prideful of where they grew up at. Yeah, because it's like, to me it's sad. Like, nobody could ever make me hate my hood. I'm sorry. There's nothing you could ever do or say to make me feel some type of way about where I live.
Where you came from.
Yeah, at the end of the day, people be like, oh, it's always trash in the hood. Why? Have you ever thought about it? We don't have trash cans. You know how nice neighborhoods have trash cans?
Damn.
Our neighborhoods do not have those nice little trash cans at all. Nowhere to be found. Shit, my block don't even got a sidewalk. My block don't even have a sidewalk, and it's 2025. How is it 2025 and it's still houses in Kansas City that don't have a fucking sidewalk? Like, it's just like, sometimes you gotta understand that it's not where we are, but it's the circumstances that the government and the people who was in charge put us in. Like, they didn't want us to rent in these nice, expensive neighborhoods, so they created ordinances where they wouldn't rent to colored people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and so now, you know, a lot of people don't know that those same companies are the founders of HOAs. So you know how you were saying you don't like HOAs? Yeah. Like, you know, people who be trying to manipulate that, that's because those companies, those groups was never meant for us to be able to move into them. So it's like when you hear about families trying to buy houses in other affluent neighborhoods and they having such a hard time because of the HOA or because of this, because of that, it's not you, it's political. Like, sure. It has nothing to do with that. It might be somebody in that neighborhood just doesn't want you there, and they're gonna make it more difficult. And my thing is why would you want to spend your money to be in a neighborhood that you're not welcomed in?
Yeah.
Like, why? That don't make sense to me. Like, I get wanting to leave the hood, but like when I came back, I moved right back into where I lived at, because that's where I feel most comfortable. Exactly. Like when I'm out south or if I'm in the suburbs, I'm looking around like, who is that? Who they coming for? Like, just paranoid for no reason. Like, everything legal, but it's just trauma from being in other situations. Like, I'm legal and everything, but I still don't want the police fucking with me. Like, I don't want, and I feel like everybody has that fear in them, within them. Like,
for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. Just because you just don't even want them type of problems.
Not for no reason, from bad experiences.
Right, yeah, from past trauma, stuff that we see going viral all the time. Like, you know, but like I said, like Nipsey Hussle, that's somebody I look up to. I always loved him before he became popular. Like, me too. I know his mixtapes, like, you know. So
Bullets ain't got no names.
I'm like, mine was Money. I loved his song about money. I forgot what it was called, but it's in my phone. But basically, I brought him up because that's somebody who never left the hood. He invested into his community. Like, you know, what he did with that strip, that's something I would love to do for my community. Like, you know, or even Bannister Mall, like taking that and opening it up and making it like just a boutique for small businesses only and making it minority, everything. So it's like, if you're not a minority, then you can't be here. Because, like, that's how they treat us when we go into these other places. So it's like, we just need to create our own spaces for us to become successful. Like, because at the end of the day, keep trying to break into circles that was not meant for us, always going to be harder. Well, we could just make our own.
And another thing to touch on that topic, too, is, like, we need to work with each other way more than we do. It be so many of us thinking we in competition with each other. We were raised to be in competition with each other. When we build and work together, we unstoppable, for real.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm like, and it's good that you said that we was raised to be
in competition,
because we were like,
who got the best shoes, or you ain't got this. Like, as young kids, it was installed of clowning the people that don't have. It's just
the people who lacking all of that. And it's really sad because it's like, if you think about it, we all went to the same school.
Most definitely.
So we was all living in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
We all struggling the same way. Like, when it comes to that, I really hate that content creators feel like we're all competing like against each other, because like you got your own stamp on industry sounds. That's gonna always make industry sounds stand out. For sure. And that's you. Yeah. It's you, Mab. You're the reason why industry sounds pops out.
I'm gonna let you go ahead. So we going to the same. I already know where you're going. Go ahead.
So it's like, basically with me as a content creator, I'm not intimidated by nobody. I don't care if you got 1 million followers. Like, when you get a flat tire, you're gonna have to go through the same process that I do when I get a flat tire. So it's like, when we all, as content creators, I feel like a lot of times people think that life is completely and totally different. And don't get me wrong, some content creators do live a lavish lifestyle and others don't. Like, and like for me, I always try to make sure that I portray my real life, my real image, because I don't like people who fake stuff for like followers. Like, you know, there's some people who rent out studios and houses, make content, and then leave, and then they got their followers. Cars, and they got their followers thinking that they really own this, and I'm like, oh, no, I know you in real life,
for sure.
So it's like, for me,
faking it to make it.
Yeah, when it comes to competing against other content creators, I don't see it as competition. Like, you could do the same thing that I do, and I would never feel intimidated by anything that you do. You could even go viral, and I'm not gonna be upset about it, because at the end of the day, that's you and your brand, and something you did worked for you. So I'm happy for you, you know. And I'm just the type of person that I feel like, you know, I be doing my political stuff, I be doing fashion shows, I be making content, I be modeling. So it's just like, there is no other creator that's tapping into everything that I'm tapping into. So it's like, and even if you were to do it, you're not gonna do it like I would do it. Yeah. And that's just what it is.
And that's the same thing in my field. Like, there's other studios out here. That's cool, but I'm probably one of the only ones that make beats. Now I'm probably the only one that got a podcast. I don't know. You know, shout out to them too. And it's no hate. I never hate. I'm cool with a lot of them in general. Like, let's work together. You know, we record some of the same people. We be at the same kind of events. So I never see myself in competition, and that's not why I started doing this anyways, like to be in competition. I started doing this because I love it. Like, you know?
And plus also, like, your idea is to bring businesses together. Sure. So it's like, even if other people are doing podcasts already, your podcast might be focused on a different topic than what you're doing. So it's like, you know, and it's crazy because we only see that in our community.
Exactly.
Like, in affluent communities, there could be one lady selling lemonade right here, and then it's gonna be another one 2 doors down selling lemonade too. Like, and they don't see each other as competition. So yeah, I definitely, you know, I would love to see an event where all of the studios come together, like an artist showcase. That would be hard.
That's what the city needs. Yeah. That's gonna bring spotlight to the artists, to everybody for sure. But the artists that need, you know, the spotlight and giving them the stage, a platform to do their thing.
Yeah, so, I'm like, and think about it like that too. You know, that also puts not only the artists, the studios, but it's putting KC on the map. Exactly. Like, right now, KC hot because we the Super Bowl champs. You know, we coming back for the three-peat. But at the same time, like, KC could be known for so many other things other than football. Like, there's no reason why all of the dope boutiques that we have aren't trending, like, and aren't viral. You know what I'm saying?
Clothing brands.
Yeah, clothing brands, shoe companies, the vault. Like, you know, it's so many places in KC that are like hidden gems. And it's just like, it's sad that we're getting overlooked when really now is the time for everybody to be pushing, you know, marketing, like, you know, making their business be known, because KC is on the spotlight right now.
Pop out. It's time to pop out.
Literally.
So let the people know where they can find you at.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
So I just did a rebrand. Okay. But y'all can follow me at Stacey, STACEYYRUTH. That is my first name and my middle name. Okay. So that's like my official rebrand. I'm not changing it until, you know, that's going to be on my tombstone. All right. But you can follow me on all social media. And I also follow back. Okay. I also engage. I'm not a bougie follower. Like, if you send me something, like, if you send me something you want me to promote, if you promote some of my stuff, I'm going to do it just off GP. Like, I support those who support me, period.
Y'all hear that? You know, tap in with her, get with her.
Before the price go up.
Ooh. We got to work together too.
Yes. I'm like, no, we're going to do the series. I'm like, I'm going to do the series. Sure. I'm like, that's going to be hard.
For sure. When we had worked together, you know, we threw a party, you know, for my boy Mike.
We do a stripper-thon. You can tell the people, because I be hosting stripper-thons too, because I be
Tap in. Hey, somebody might be interested in the stripper-thon. I'll DJ again. I had a good time.
No, it was definitely fun. I'm like,
I missed the second one. I was busy. He didn't tell me in enough time.
Oh, I actually might have a good opportunity for you that I was just talking.
See, look,
I'm like,
yeah. We can't let him know. We can't let him know everything. And we might bring you back on the second episode just to get an update with you.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe once I drop my ebook, you know, we can talk about it. Yeah, we'll bring you
back on for sure. Well, it's great having you. Like I said, tap in with Stacey. She gonna hook you up. She gonna get you in the game. She gonna, you know, represent your brand the right way. So, yeah, it's been another great episode. 10,000 contacts. We out.